Hello all of you friends. Today we are meeting here for a new topics and even a new subject, that is for a US CMA, and herewith we are going to deal with its most important aspect, the part of that subject, that is a strategic planning. Friends, in a US CMA course, here we are dealing with this strategic planning topic, which is mainly dealing with the managerial aspects of entire business. What do you mean by strategy, the different core heart of strategies, that all the things we're going to learn. Friends, welcome you to Navkar Digital Institute. Let's go further for our journey towards US CMA strategic planning topics. Take a look, friends. Here we will have this type of important points that we're going to discuss, and the learning points are provided over here. Different models in a modern managerial aspects of the strategic planning and its basics, the usefulness, all the things are covered up here. And these things are as follows, in that we have first one, let's say for the basics and definition. Yeah, please. So we have this strategy. Friends, what do you mean by that? So as you can see, a planning, basically in a dealing with a business aspects to run a show of entire business. And if we look for a big corporate level, in that case we will have to have a futuristic approach. We cannot be somewhere say dealing with the peculiarities of the difficulties whenever it comes. No, we have to be approach that is proactive, that not be a reactive approach. To be a proactive, first of all, a business should be planned. Friends, not only about business, but always your life always should be having a great plans, the goals, somewhere your strategies to make achieve that goals and plans. All these things are covered up here, but yes, it is in a business terms. So somewhere it's important that you should have a planning, either your life, personal life, or either your business, etc. Everywhere the important focus should be given to the plans and all. The planning, the futuristic approach, preparing yourself in a business, all these things are covered up. As you can see, who we are, where we need to be, what we need to do, and different aspects of this planning are covered up in this chapter. First of all, it is relevant to take a look for what do you mean by strategy then, friends. The strategies, basically this is the core heart of this topic, that is the strategic planning. And what do you mean by the strategy, friends? Here, strategy, the course of action, say for example somewhat different tactics I will going to use to achieve my goal, to achieve my objective in a business, and this different course of action, my tactics are known as strategy. Friends, these strategies have connection with the long-term plannings and all. Friends, important aspect. Say for example in your life, even you would have decided to have some degree, you might have decided to have your graduations, masters and all, and with that you need to have some dream in your eyes, and with this dream as well you will going to take a look today's position, and you will gonna take steps for the future's goal to achieve it. Same way in business also, strategies that do have two important aspects. First of all, you need to decide your course of action, and after deciding it, you won't be just having your basic thoughts and ideas to go with the flow. No, you will going to apply it as well. So first you decide your course of action, that is strategy formulation. You make it. To formulate, it means you make the course of action as per your capacity. For example, one of the student having capacity to read 8 pages 1 hour. So if he decides that he wanna achieve 50 pages, so somewhere he should go for 6.5 hour studies. So 6.5 hour studies around, he can make sure that he will going to achieve 50 pages reading target. So the target was a plan, but for that, a reading of 6 hours was a strategy. So plans are first step, I can say, to achieve the plans and all. So see friends, again, goals are the first step. To achieve that thing, a strategic planning is a tool for that. Your strategies, your plans, you decide, but first you decide your goals, you decide your things for something to achieve and etc. Implementation etc. is another aspect. You need to have an action as well. Many people might be just thinking on to do this and to do that and never have put it into an action. Unless it is not put into an action, it's all useless. Friends, what can be the difficulties while we going to apply these strategies? The difficulties may be that we are not able to achieve somewhere, we're gonna change our strategies. Somewhere in a business, if we want to change, for example, where the revolutions for the technologies were there, it was on a high peak. At that point of time, many of the workers and employees of organization, they would have lost their jobs because they were not able to be adaptable with the coming technology. What happens here as well, while making an implementation, there may be some of the problems you might face, and that's why that is the time where you're going to look again into your strategies. So friends, this entire world is this chapter I'm talking about. Basically, the world of this chapter is entirely looking for doing the activities, achieving the long-term goals, again review your activities, daily continuous updation of your efforts, and all that things are covered up in business terms. It's not for a personal life goals and all. Okay, although you can apply it in your personal life as well. But friends, be clear that here we're going to learn from the management aspect of entire business. Friends, take a look. Friends, whatever the underlying portions is there, even the bold italic words and portions are there, these all things are very keynotes. You can be encountered with the important MCQs over here. Say for example, this is the process. Friends, as it is given over here, you can see that you have a designing process, even a supporting delivering process, then again improving process, and the designing of the structure process. Friends, we are going to take a look very deeply in all these 4 aspects. We will be having a look into that as well. But as of now, what you need to take care of is that basically MCQ that can be asked, the multiple choice questions can be asked out of it in this manner which is provided. Okay, so there may be a multiple choice question that one of the stages which is not that part of the implementation of strategy. So out of these 4, only 3 would be given, and the 4th one will be somewhere something else. So that will be your answer. Okay, so please always take a look for important points as indicated over here. Strategy, implementation, and formulation. Hope so it is clear to you. So friends, as we have gone through an understanding for how the strategies are working for a business, where it's 2 of the stages are very crucial. Formulation of it and even applying that is very crucial. Implementation come with the processed aspect, somewhat a planned manner, somewhat a processed way we can go so that implementation can be successful. Friends, going ahead, now what do you mean by strategic planning? See, we gone to understand the strategy, what it is. We have understood what is a planning as well. Now it's time to take a look. Strategic planning. Friends, the corporate and business organizations, they have their various important goals to achieve for. They have the resources, something like your manpower, they have the finance, they have even the machines and all, whatever the assets they have. With that thing, they have to achieve their business goals and big objectives. Friends, these business goals and objectives, you very well know, are basically profit motives, shareholders value creation, being targeting somewhere their position, their market share, their market prices. These goals are the heart to work into a business. Rather, I can say that to run a show of the business. But the resources should be utilized in some effective manner. Means that my machines should not remain idle so long. If it comes for my manpower, a proper right man should be employed at a right place also. These all different aspects, being a manpower part or being at the resources part, it must get channelized at appropriate stage, at appropriate place. Means whatever effort, it should not be just haphazard efforts for going on with the business. No, it must be very effective effort into channelizing for the long-term goal. Means effort whatever given by the resource must support the long-term objective of business. And friends, that's why, what do you mean by strategic planning? The planning in a way that the resources of the business are utilized and channelized into appropriate place, appropriate objective to achieve by the organization. Friends, this strategic planning is covering the aspect of resource planning, you can say even the advertisement plannings and all. So this entire subject, rather the managerial philosophy, is divided in these different resource aspects. Everywhere there must be a strategic planning. So that's why strategies are also known as the heart of an organization, which help the organization to achieve its long-term goals, so that in a manner that the resources are utilized in appropriate manner. And here these are, friends, as these goals etc. are common to every person who is working with that organization, and all these person, they have these common goal, and that goal can be achieved with some technical, fundamental, emotional, whatever you say, strategy manner. A strategic manner is required, and that's what is achieved here. Yes, you can take a look as well of these important points as notified over here. Friends, the crucial part is, in a long run, the strategies should be such that it combines every effort into one direction, and that called as a focused direction. See, we have resources in an organization, a lot of ample of money is there in a financial terms, ample of numbers of employees are working, but yes, the roles are not defined, so that there is a chaos going on for who will work for what basis, how much he will work and all that. So there will be a great chaos, and at all the company will be at loss. It will be having a loss of goodwill as well into the eyes of their customers, and that's why the problem arises if there is no strategy. That's why it's the heart. If I compare entire business with the body, friends, our body, where we can consider our mind, that can be a planning stage, the board of directors, the top level management, yeah, it's a top, where my hands and legs are operational level managers, they are operating the entire systems. Yeah, although this mind is a central operating unit, the central processing unit, like a computer you can say, but where if hand doesn't know its work, my leg doesn't know its work, who will going to tell them what my mind wants? Somewhere heart is connecting to this mind and getting the direction to all other body parts. Friends, you can see that how it works. As the heart is daily pumping in and pumping out, the blood is weaning from the mind to the body parts, and as the blood is running out all the body, that's the way our body is functioning. And that's what the work of strategies in an organization. And that's why, friends, herewith the strategies are also a core part of entire business. Herewith, what and how it helps. First of all, strategies are channelizing the efforts. Second thing, from that efforts, it gives you an improvement stage where you have somewhere barriers or difficulties are there to overcome whatever the problems you have, the weakness you have in your organization, somewhat difficulties are there, and at last, always, it's a futuristic approach. Strategies moves you towards the future aspect, towards future, and it makes you to release all the errors whatever was there in the past. Hope so you are able to understand. Friends, very crucially, it is as provided over here that you can see responsibility, it's of the top management. Yes, friends, very important. My mind is responsible for making the critical decisions. My hand is responsible to execute that operation. And also, you would be knowing that the organization have 3 levels of management and all these things. You very well know that the top level management, the middle level, and the bottom operational level and all that. Yeah, friends, with that, the strategy making is a responsibility for the top level management, and here it is strategic planning that makes the business adaptable. Adaptability with the coming opportunities, with the coming whatever the threats was there, and somewhere it is making the adaptability of the business with whatever the bad timings or the good timings, whatever comes in. So it really making an entire organization be ready to come with the business solutions in the coming environment, in the coming generations and whatsoever. So friends, hope so you understood what is the importance of this strategic planning in entire business. Somewhere, how this strategy planning works. It doesn't work at only one level. Friends, let's see again. As I told you over here as well, it helps an organization adaptly navigate through the changing times. Friends, to be adaptable for this whatever the time that comes, to make this organization adaptable, that's not only the process of mind, that means the whatever top level management, the directors, the managing directors and all, not only those people have to work for, entire system have to work. Say for example, if just legs and hands are paralyzed, how long and so much long your mind works, it doesn't matter, because functioning of one of the part is not there. So that is the way when I consider a strategic planning, it's not only a responsibility for a top level as well, but there is a holistic organization approach going on, and in that organization approach, 3 of the levels which are bifurcated for an organization are considered. An organization will be distributed, we can just bifurcate it into 3 of the levels. We can say corporate level, competitive and functional level. Friends, somewhere the decisions of the top level management, friends, top level management decisions are flowed from the first corporate level, which is done, which is communicated to this competitive level. We can say the middle level management, and middle level management get this work executed from the functional level management. So these people are routine managers. These people are long-term managers of entire strategies and business plannings and all. And at a functional level, the real works goes on. And so with that, here we have the strategic planning tools, which are in a corporate level strategies. What can be the things that can be a part of this entire structure? As you can see over here, friends, these corporate strategies, top level management. See friends, at a corporate level, what can be a strategy that must always be a long term? Take a look. Friends, here we are learning that how the different levels of business can work together to achieve the ultimate goal of business, a profit making business, a profit to make a profit, or to have increased the shareholders value and all. In that, the first level, the planning level. At a big corporate levels, the business strategies that includes basically how to expand the business, how to merge with another company, mergers and acquisitions and all these details, deciding the geographical locations of the business, dealing with how the entire resources will be utilized to achieve that goal. Another thing is the effectiveness of different resources is there, capacity and all. Friends, in short, I will say that at a corporate level, the long-term decisions, plannings are taken, strategies are formulated over here. Please do find that. But when I go for another aspect, that is a competitive level strategy, it's a unit-wise strategy. Friends, what it means, your company, say for example, if we take an example for Walmart, a retail big brand, you know very well, all of you know that. Friends, a Walmart is having a huge market share for the retail business. With that, they would have a long-term plannings that they want to achieve this level or somewhere whatsoever it may be. So after that, they have to even fight with the other retail brand stores and all that all. This competitive strategy always focus for to survive at first level, then to thrive, and then to flourish very nicely in entire competitive market. Achieving the customers' values, customers' goodwill, customers' proper attention and all. These are core heart of these types of strategies. Even organization will have efforts so that they can get a continuous competitive advantage. Friends, when I have a pause on somewhat word, please just denote that I am dictating somewhat about important lines that can be there in an MCQ. So be clear about that. The competitive strategy can be having advantage. For competitive advantage, it's always look for. And another strategies, the functional, the basic last corporate level strategy, we can say bottom level strategies are there. Friends, different functions of organization, you very well know that. The different functions are marketing and HR, the purchase function, the sales function and all and all and all. Friends, these different functions are carried by independent or non-independent, dependent departments or a branch. Walmart having a branches at a entire area or the circulars of entire USA and all, you know very well. So friends, all these branches are covered under the head office, etc. They take the decisions, but these branches have to work collectively, even independently in their area, in their whatever the coverage of their business is there, in there they have to perform their duty to utmost level. And if these combined entities, the branches are working very well, then only a long-term goal can be achieved. Doing that aspect, here are the functional activities, the functional strategies we can say, they are working upon the simple different functions. Means it is divide and rule. What happens here? The divisions are there for the various functions of organization. These functions have to be dealt with in a different, say for example, responsibility areas by the different managers, and if combined together, then only there can be a success for entire organization. These functions always to be achieved by keeping in view that the long-term goal of organization is this, the philosophy at the top level is this, and that's how they should achieve that. Mean, for example, if the Walmart have decided at the top level had already decided that they will not going to give this much discount on a particular product, only this much percentage discount will be there. So at a branch level, whatever the pressure from the customer is, they have to compulsorily achieve the orders from the top level. And this is where we need to be clear with about which level, which functional activity you are into. Means if an MCQ is there for particular activity which is covered in an organization's functions, you should be clear that it is which type of activity. Functional, that is a competitive or at a corporate level. Friends, so there can be MCQ of this type. Which level you are, corporate, competitive or functional? Friends, hope so you are very clear with that. Let's go further. Now corporate strategies. Friends, these are dealt with here separately. You can take a look for these points which are clarified over here. You can see that holistic view is there, long term, made by mainly the corporate level, top level management. Long term profitability is the main goal. So it is used for company's business model as well. Yes, friends, this is very important line. Please just have a look at that. Friends, this important line is indicating that when an entire business model is going to change, means, for example, where the smartphones had entered into the telecom markets, in that case, the other phones were feature phones that we are talking today. The feature phones, they have to change their business models. When it comes, some taxation comes, for example, taxation for sales tax, whatever that had came, the market for the cash sales and cash purchases, they have to change and make the different situations for their business. These models were changed, and to take these big decisions where there is an entire scenario changes for entire business, this can be taken only by corporate level strategies. Be clear about that, friends. Let's take a look. Another one. As you can see, the competitive and functional strategies over here. Let's go for this. These two strategies, friends, these strategies are following the corporate strategies, goals and all. When I consider corporate strategy, the big decisions are there. When I consider the functional and competitive strategies, these are daily decisions to survive, to thrive into the competitive age and markets and all, whatever it may be. Friends, taking that in, here we can see, so we'll complete how in a given market, it should be very consistent for a better output. Yes, friends, it is important. And formulation is there made by, friends, strategy formulation. Decision of Walmart top level management was there that they will going to purchase one of the another big brand of whatsoever retail brand store and what maybe. Then this decision was taken. After that, operational decisions can come, how they will work together with some another companies. What will happen to the brands stores of other company that they have already purchased. Same where Facebook had purchased the WhatsApp company, whatever it may be. So that point of time, the Facebook, the founder and CEO had decided the entire decision at a corporate level. But when it comes to functional and operational level, how Facebook will be combined, integrated with the WhatsApp technology and all. So these things will be at a functional level. And here we are dealing with that. Now here comes. As I told, the competitive strategies have focus for competitive advantage only. So these competitive strategies are covered in a different four types. Maybe a cost leadership, the focus leadership, differentiation leadership, focus differentiation leadership. It is bifurcated into these four. What do you mean by that? Friends, MCQ can come in this way. Out of these four strategies, you have to identify which exact strategy it was. You will be given a scenario for one of the company's decision was there, and these types of practical questions you can be encountered. So be ready for those things as well. Reading it very compulsory, very carefully, so that you can get the core concept of these different strategies. Herewith, this was an important line. Please do always analyze this thing. Let's go further, friends. Another one. The first strategy I'm dealing, friends, over here, the four strategies are there for competitive advantage, and out of that, I'm dealing with the first one that is given over here, the cost leadership. Friends, as you can see, the cost leadership. Reducing cost in a business. Friends, let's just take an example. Basically, what do you mean by a business profit is somewhere your selling price minus your cost. You purchase something at 80 and you are selling it at 120, 40 is your profit. So here as well, somewhere to maximize your profit, you're gonna have a lowest cost possible for you. If you have a cost which is lower to you, you can reduce your selling price to that extent, and that's why your customers will be attracted to you. Friends, customers can focus upon the prices as well. Many a time, a low price cost is preferable to many customers. If you are a cost leader, means as a businessman, you are able to manage your cost. You are able to lower your cost. You are able to lower your selling price then, and that's why you will be able to achieve competitive market. In this strategy, what will happen? By tactical means you lower your finance cost so that you can lower your cost in total. Another way, you lower your taxation cost, your administrative cost, overhead cost, and a subject of costing management, etc. You gonna learn that things as well. Friends, whatever these different costs, you lower that, and then accordingly your selling price is lowest in the market, and you that's why achieve a competitive advantage. Your sales are increasing accordingly, and this is the way here it is achieved. Let's see, here it is achieved that provided that attracting the business, competitors can lower their price, friends, here, but you have your unique solutions for reducing your cost. For example, in a factory, for example, the company had 8 workers and somehow they managed such a machinery, only 4 workers were required. Means the expenditure for those 4 workers just reduce. That machine is also very fuel efficient. You can say even it was an electric machine in total, your electrical expense was lower down. On the rooftop of that factory, the company managed to install solar. A solar panel was installed, and that's why that company's electricity cost just lowered down to very minimal. So what happened in that case? The company's cost reduced so that they can able to achieve lower prices, and that's why they were able to achieve this entire cost leadership and all, as you can see over here. So lowering the costs and materials management. So friends, what I say, starting from the raw material till the to the administrative cost, selling cost, wherever the cost is going on, the company is able to control it and resist it to some extent, and that is the way company is able to get a cost benefit. So friends, hope so you understood that what do you mean by the cost strategies. These strategies are part of functional and competitive strategies. So friends, until now, as we have understood the basics of strategies and planning, the strategic planning, and with that we have understood what do you mean by competitive strategies. And friends, these different competitive strategies are focused either a differentiation leadership or a cost leadership whatsoever. Let's say the first one that we are going for, a cost leadership, that in short I have to just summarize the way. If I summarize here, it will be a cost leadership means wherein in every market, whatever the product you have, every product you are reducing your cost to the minimum level, and in your competitors, etc., your cost is lowest, and that's why you gain a competitive advantages as compared to your competitors. And to reduce the cost, a different scenarios or a techniques can be utilized. Means you cut your overheads expenditures, you may have some manpower reductions, you may cut your over expenditures in whatever the different of the ways it is expended, or I will say that even you're gonna cut your production limits and etc, etc. So friends, advertisement expenditure, somewhere company can reduce the margins on that, and that's why company can able to save the money, and with that company can reduce the cost. Okay friends, the cost can be reduced by way of getting some additional grants from government. Friends, you get a grant from government which indicates that your money was actually supported with the capital of government, and that's why your cost of finance reduces. And if it reduces, you can benefit, you can pass on this benefit to your customers in terms of price reduction. And that's why here we understood the cost leadership. But when it comes to a focused cost leadership, as you can see over here, the competing within a small or a local market segment. Friends, something very important, it is just underlined. Friends, be clear about this type of strategies wherein you reduce, as a company, you reduce your cost, you just break down your prices, but not in every market. You focus some of the specific market, you focus only of some of the products only. For example, company like say for example we can go for Parle-G, or the product of Procter & Gamble's, the P&G products. Friends, P&G products can have a focus leadership where they will reduce their cost only for some specific area in India. In a market of India, they may have a reduced selling price specifically for the rural areas. This is the focus leadership. Maybe possible that they don't have that pricing in a different scenario, in a different market. And that's why it was on a focus leadership. This was the basic example for that. As you can see, there was a local brick ad, and the bricks were manufactured and it was delivered to the site, etc. So company may have some different cost advantage. What happens over here? See, a brick maker is supplying the bricks and even the sand to the different construction people and all that. Friends, in one area, the construction site, etc., wherein they have a different price as compared to other people, and in another area there was a different prices. So this was a focused cost leadership. Only in one market the price reduced. In a cost leadership, every market the price is reduced, every product the price is reduced. But here, only one market, only one product, the price may be reduced, or price may be getting very lowest. That was the scenario over here. Friends, another one, a differentiation. Friends, customers' philosophy is always revolving around either a quality or maybe a quantity only. People may be very reluctant to go for the prices, or they take their decisions. As a purchaser, the customer take decisions either on a price basis or on a quality basis. Some of the customers are always price aware. These price averse customers, what they do is basically they always looking for only getting the lowest price. They don't bother about any quality. Somewhere many customers always bother only about quality, not about the prices. The different quality that these customers are always focusing, they always focus for somewhat new characteristics, some new features, or somewhat we can say that somewhat inferior and superior things in products, mechanisms and brands and all. So those type of people who look for mainly quality, these people will always focus upon the differentiations. What it means that, friends, many companies always like when we say that MG, and when we say Audi, etc., these etc. car manufacturers, they are always focusing on their premium products. They have some differentiation as compared to the competitors. Although the price may be higher or lower, but this unique feature of that product is getting them a competitive advantage. Somewhat unique feature is there. Product is different as compared to the competitors. So that's why the people are getting attracted. But friends, normally saying, these people who get attracted for differentiation are the people, they look for quality. Be very clear, friends. What do you mean by differentiation is considered here? Friends, if I consider focused differentiation, see, there is a specialization of some servicing needs of just one or two market. Friends, a niche area market where a company is focusing for differentiation. Friends, it means that company is making some special products for special type of customers only. For example, one of the companies is focusing for parental equipment, so for pregnant lady or something like that. So friends, these types of medical stores are there available, like Planet Human, we can say. These types of medical stores will only focus upon the maternal parts and all that, and parental things and all. So this is unique differentiation they have. They don't focus all the public a unique product. If I consider, let's take a simple example. We all use toothpaste. A toothpaste is nothing big differentiation, but when I consider a toothpaste in a unique different flavors or etc. is a differentiation only. But when one company have special toothpaste qualities and difference for the kids, only kids toothpaste are different, in that case this type of differentiation is a focused differentiation. Friends, it was very basic example, but here it is also provided. There are the small babies, elderly people are there, so one of the type of customers you can say that in a demographic transition of entire country, you can bifurcate between the people who are below 15 age, working age, and old age, etc. So these things are there as compared to differentiations, etc. Friends, what we do, if we have special unique product for special public, it's a focused differentiation. If a unique product for all the public is a only differentiation in general. So be very clear about wordings. Friends, I am dictating these things in a very simple language, just because these simple fundas are very clear to identify which type of strategy it is. Means that you will be given somewhat different examples, and one of the example will be defined over there. This is a scenario, company is marketing like this way, company is doing this, what the strategy it is adopting. The four different that is options that will be provided. Friends, these four options will be provided. You need to select an appropriate answer out of these four options, and so that's why here it will be your final answer should be that becomes one of these four. Okay friends, going further, these are some general points which are indicated over here. Friends, these points are indicating somewhat key areas where strategies are useful. Friends, first of all, strategies are very different for different organizations. We can say it is different for different types of organization, for even a different products as well it is different. Okay, so what it must be, see friends, strategy should have some specific qualitative characteristics. These qualitative characteristics are basically defined as over here. It must be flexible, it must have a competitor's action, it should estimate, it should respond to every competitive strategies that my competitor is adopting against me. That strategy should be compatible with the law, with the regulations, with the environmental requirements and social requirements, etc. Friends, company organization is not working in isolation. It's working within society, with the society, from the society, and for the society. And friends, so for this thing, this area where we are focusing right now, that is company strategies. These strategies should also be very compatible with entire business scenarios and all. Hope so you are very clear about that thing. Also friends, please just have a look at on these basic slides as well. Somewhere technical questions can come for the different strategy names and all. So this will be a clear area where you should look for. Friends, if I consider entire strategic planning, its conceptual presentation, and friends, what do you mean by planning? Planning means there must be an environment within which you are going to deal. You are preparing yourself, you are preparing your tactics as a company manager, you are preparing your tactic, and that is within the environment where you will deal with your business. And friends, this environment analysis is there. Some of the master strategies, friends, we understood these master different strategies were corporate level strategies. This tactical plans or strategies, we can say these were competitive strategies, but there must be environment analysis. Simple question. Let's come a short point is, friends, we prepare our organization, but for what we prepare? How we prepare? Whom we are fighting against? Whom we are dealing against? Friends, basically our business is dealing with a different environment situations. It may be the external factors which are affecting my business, which are either supporting or which are disturbing my business, whatsoever it may be, but I need to deal. And I can deal with my top level plans, master plans, my routine competitive plans, etc. This is what the three components of strategic planning. Please note down an MCQ, three components of strategic planning. Hope so you are understanding and reading this. Friends, now let's take a look for the components of the strategic planning that we have understood. Friends, these components, as you can see over here, somewhat the environmental factors that affects. Now here comes the master strategies, environmental factors. Friends, this is entire turning around of entire chapter. These all the things you are looking right now, we'll going and analyze in deep understanding its entire conceptual as well. But friends, just have a heading and look for these things. Somewhat you can now see here the value, that is vision, mission, strategies, and goals and objectives. These things, friends, you if consider in dictionary terms will consider that these things are synonyms. Why it has been differentiated over here? Friends, yeah, for strategic management purpose, these things have different meaning. And we will going to look in a bifurcated manner for which of the value it has in entire strategic management. The analysis for external, internal factors, etc. It mainly covers up whatever environment around you is affecting your business. Environment around you means your company, your business I'm talking about. And at last, tactical plans. Friends, the daily routines, operation plans, the budgetings and all are part of it. Let's take a look for this. First of all, friends, how the strategic planning have a framework for when we prepare it. Friends, there is nothing like any rule or something we need to prepare some strategies and all. It's a business thing, so it goes on very continuously. People can, organizations can make it on a short-term or a long-term basis as well. Organizations can have a long-term strategies as well. That is means for 5 years coming down here, say down the line 5 years, 10 years, something like that. And they can have a strategy for even a 1 year, just coming for 1 year as well. All these things can be there. Okay. Another one that we can see, friends. Here, this one is a very important line, friends, provided over here. Please take this, write this, whatever it is very clear. This type of MCQ can be there. The time frame is higher means organizations higher up in planning done means the hierarchy is higher. A long-term planning will also need a long-term mind grooming or say mind storming we need for the different managerial level, different level of my management, or say for example even the different functions of my business. So long-term planning, long hierarchy, short-term planning, short hierarchy. Please consider that, it is very crucial for us. Friends, business to business, this time span of strategy planning making is different. So there cannot be a set of rules I can say, but yes, the businesses where stock is very fastly consuming, it is very fastly rotating. In those types of business, strategic planning will be shorter period, otherwise it will be a longer period. Please be careful about that. Let's go for another one. The relationship between strategy formulation and planning, how this formulation and planning are connected. Why? Strategy formulations we prepare as per our strategic plan. First we decide plan, when then we make a strategy. This we prepare because of these factors, and already you have seen that, friends. This is the scenario which help you to make the plan, or either you make the plan for these things You make a strategy for these different components or factors. Clear about that? Friends, these factors, please write a name as well. Let's go further. External factors which can affect. Let's go into this. Friends, we have seen first of all that there are two environments, external and internal, which affects a business. External environment, which is out of control of entire business entity. Management cannot control this. We have to, as a manager, we have to deal with this environment. And friends, these types of environment will include political, economical, legal, social, environmental relations, environmental analysis and all. These things are affecting entire business because the business is working within industry, within society as well. And macro environment is known as external environment. Be clear, macro means external environment. At a larger scale, economy is a macro level, but a small business of a company, one company is a micro level. Do clear in that sense, friends. Here we have external factors that affect the strategy. As you can see, friends, provided examples of this thing, factors like law, regulations, market force, competitions. Obviously, friends, you cannot control the competition. Okay, you cannot be like a government who can make the rule that no one can raise a hand against my company, raise even a eye on my company like that. I will not allow them to do a business. Friends, always in a larger public interest, competition is fruitful. It is very beneficial to the customers and public at large. So always government will support competition only, not a monopoly. Hope so in economics subject you would have understood these different words like monopoly, oligopoly, perfect competition and all. Okay, friends. Change to technologies, friends. Technology, fasty things. It's a very nasty things which is developing each and every day, even we can say that. So somewhat new features, something which affects your products and etc. will going to drastically change your business model. Friends, stakeholders, yes, they are people affecting your entire business etc. Your creditors, friends, creditors have a right to take your company into a liquidation. They can drag you to the court. So friends, have a good relation with your debtors and borrowers also. Friends, so these examples were there. Let's examine actually how much they are able to affect. See, if I take an example for law and regulations, these are the different laws which are provided. These regulations are affecting many of your transactions. Antivirus laws, yes friends, antitrust laws, sorry, copyright, trademark, trade protectionisms, FEMA, foreign exchange management, Sarbanes-Oxley. This is auditing related somewhat subject, we can say, different employment law and etc. Friends, and as per the employment law, you have to have insurance, the provident funds and pensions and all you need to pay to your employees etc. These are compulsions on your business because of these laws. Environmental Protection Authority, the environmental protection laws are supported by them. So you have to follow your product. You should produce in a way that it should not produce somewhat carbon credit more than some of the limit. And even your environmental effects because of your product manufacturing should be very lower. Otherwise you will be fined. You will be levied a penalty by them. The Environmental Protection Authority will levy a penalty. So all these different mechanisms as per the law regulations can affect your business. Many a times you need to make a strategy how to deal with such a laws, different laws, so that we have not contravened any law. We have to be careful as a business manager. I have to be careful as an owner that we have not violated any law. All the rules and regulations of the law are followed properly. Its interpretation, its importance, how do we gonna deal and how do we gonna stop any of the contradiction by the in the law, and all these things are crucial strategies for any business. Another one, friends, you can see regulatory factors. Regulations means, what do you mean by regulations? Friends, in many industries, there are some government regulatory authorities. These government authorities, they control the business decisions. You have to abide the rules for somewhat business decisions by them. And these different authorities, as notified over here, just look at the name, friends. MCQ, the objective question can be, you need to identify which factor it is. Law factor or a regulatory factor, environmental factor, competition factor, etc., etc. Be clear. The Environmental Protection Agency, yes, they can control you, your manufacturing facilities and manufacturing like whatever the work going on in a factory. You have to be careful about having your disposal of your waste after the manufacturing. If the waste is disposed not as per the proper Environmental Protection Act, okay, not in a manner which is provided there, then you will be fined. You'll have to bear a penalty, huge cost it may be as well, and it may cost a shutdown of your entire business. Be careful about that, friends. So occupational safety, yeah, friends, basically these act also provides for the good health of workers, the safety mechanisms at the workplace for the workers. The Federal Tax Commission, Trade Commission, sorry friends, these trade commissions, they ensure that there must be a good competition, there must not be exploitation of any of the consumers and customers and all. Price fixing mechanism should not be predatory pricing. It should not exploit the monopoly way to the different customers. These things, these commission, these government agencies will always behind you, and will always, you will always be, as a businessman, you will always be in a surveillance. You will be cross-verified whether you have followed these rules or not, or something like that. Another one, we have this Consumer Product Safety, okay friends, this Product Safety Commission, for which you have to give a good safety with the products to the customer. If customer is getting somewhat as ads by your product, you're gonna pay for that. And friends, these different laws are also affecting the business environment and strategies. Obviously, it can reduce my profit. Somewhere it reduces my goodwill, my image. Even if a wrong claim of a customer, although it doesn't turn back, but it can create a bad rumor in a share market and stock market prices. And in the Dow Jones, my stock price may reduce because of just a basic rumor by any of the customers about some complaints or like that. So friends, these are very sensitive matters. Okay, we are dealing with regulations for industries, friends, industry regulations, the industries which we are working, federal communications, aviations. Friends, in a different industry, there can be a different agency commissioned by the government, and these are the examples for that. Friends, if I say Environmental Protection Agency, it covers every industry. But when I consider this one, that Food and Drug Administration, then it covers only food drugs related, food related company business, etc. It does not relate to pharma. It does not relate to steel industry. It does not relate to retail services and all industry. So these are industry specific agencies. But these are general agencies which control any industry. These control only specific industry. Friends, these examples are very important. Whatever I am dictating is all your important concepts by which you should learn it, to understand it. But when it comes for examples, be specific. Whatever written over here, just please see that and note it down. It is very useful to you. Friends, going further, how these different factors affects the business. And friends, this is the most important factors related table or something you can say. Please have a look in this. Friends, I will suggest you to note it down. We have, friends, over here, how the tax law affects. The factor is it promotes patent law, promote the inventions. Obviously, FTC controls are obviously marketing campaigns and etc. It restricts. Okay, so it should not be a monopoly type market, that's why. Trade protectionism is limiting your global touch. Where there is a trade protectionism to protect the trade of entire local business, exports are getting high tax or something like that. So government restrict you to have foreign purchase and sale transactions somewhat in a restricted amounts only. That's why environmental protection controls affects the environmental accountability. If it is not followed, if the environmental getting hazardous materials out of your production, you will be penalized. And after antitrust law, license requirements, these types of law as well affects the competition and all. Friends, these were the important factors and its effect. Friends, you can be asked to match the followings as well. You need to just match the factors with its impact. This is the way we can look for. Okay. So friends, another important environment factor, the external factor that affects is the external competitive forces. I will say that these 5 forces which are competitive for your business are like the new entry people which may come and ruin your business, fight against you. The current competitors are there, somewhat the buyers, your suppliers, industry competitors are going on, substitutes. Friends, these different components of competitive entirely environment can affect your business and can compete and fight against you. As you can see, the new entry of a new competitor, friends, somewhere the business will always be happy if the industry where they are working, the competitors are low, or either the new competitors cannot come. That is known as entry barriers. Friends, these entry barriers are bifurcated as follows. Friends, higher profitability if low entry barriers. If a high entry barriers means high profit for the people who are existing in that industry. Means it is more of near to monopoly market, in which I will say that, for example, the defense mechanisms, the defense market and industry I'm talking about, the defense equipments, very few companies can enter into this because of some legal governmental licensing requirements, the different government and restrictions or whatever we can say, friends. So because of that, in the defense industry, there are very less people can enter into, and who are already there with the companies which are already there, they are having a higher profits, because to take a new entry in this industry is a bit difficult. Okay, friends, the different entry barriers may be because of cost advantage that the existing leader have. The new entrant cannot give that much cost, cannot reduce that much cost, so he cannot enter in the industry. And as if he is not able to enter in the industry, the competition is lower, profit is higher. Let's consider economies of scale. Scalability is not there in terms of that entries, etc. If it is not more scalable, in that case the competitors will not be able to enter. Differentiations and etc. Switching cost, if customers cannot switch in to another product very directly, the competitors will like to also not enter into this, because if my customer are not able to leave me because of some differentiation, some uniqueness I have, no one can give them any lucrative offers. They cannot snatch my customers because I have differentiation. If that switching cost is high, if my customer goes to some another competitor, that switching cost is high, they will either select to be with me only. And that's the thing is that channel is overcrowded channel, is the crowd is very high, and there are no more suppliers, so the new suppliers can come into that new business, otherwise it will not be. If the channels of getting the supplies are very low and very monopolistic, in that case only we as a businessman we can provide, not our competitors, something like that. The reactions of existing companies, etc., which many things are there. Government barriers are also there. Okay, so these are different examples for it. Let's consider the threat of substitutes. Tea and coffee are the best example for this. The substitutes. People where the tea prices are increased, they will also go for the coffee. Even in terms of a milk, they can go for the milk powder, the dairy powder and all. They can utilize that dairy powder, the whitener, etc. They can utilize, and they can substitute to another dairy powder in compared to milk and etc. So the pricings are very crucial. If I increase price of my automobile car, there are substitutes for that as well, and I consider the substitutes. Best example is, as even CCTV we can say, friends. In the surveillance market, security market, you can have the security guard, you can have CCTV, you can have alarms, you can have fingerprints, biometrics, and all that. So there are various options for it. So as per your own capacity, you select it. It's very, substitutes are very much. So competition is even much if the substitutes are more. Yes, if in your organization, your company is giving two options, means substitutes are also produced by you only, then it's a different story. Let's go further. Friends, bargaining power of buyers. Yes, friends. It comes, who is the king of the market? Many markets like monopoly, seller is king. Seller can play anywhere and in any of the cost he wants to the customer to pay, because he have the control, he has power in doing that thing, in getting the money he wants. But where the buyers are in a strong positions, they will always pressurize the seller to reduce their price, and reducing prices, reducing profitabilities are going on. So these things making hiccups. Okay, another one, bargaining, huge purchase. Yeah, friends, something called as huge discounts. If one of the customer is purchasing in a huge quantity, he will also demand that I should give him discount, cash discount, trade discount, or whatsoever. Why the customers can become more powerful? If there is a strong substitute, customers are powerful. Because of that strong substitute, customer will jump to that if I am not able to provide them that service. They will easily jump. So that's the way customers' knowledge that price sensitivity is clear. Let's take an example for price sensitivity. If they are very price sensitive customers, even if my competitor is just reducing 1 rupee price, they will jump directly, they will switch to the competitor's product. They will not come to me then. Because in a market like FMCGs, the retail markets, everywhere it's about bulk and volumes. It's not about the price. In the big markets like steel, defense, these equipments, engineering equipments, machine equipments, price sensitivity is very low because there we need a quality. So a small retail markets, the prices are sensitive factor and customers are changing and very volatile in that case. So this is the way it can affect your entire business. You should select your strategy, the price strategy, in such a way that your customer should not get directly jump to another product. It stick to your product in such a way you attract the products, customers, loyalty and all. That is very important. Friends, another one, bargaining power of my suppliers. From the person whom I am purchasing, from whom I am purchasing the material, from whom I am purchasing my trading goods. These suppliers also affects my business decisions because it's my purchase cost. If the supplier is not giving me huge discount, my purchase cost will be higher. If the purchase cost is high, profit will be low. Another way, the supplier can even make me to play revolve around him only, because if I am purchasing only from one supplier, I am making a centralized power of that supplier. It indicates my dependency on that supplier. So I should also have some different options from where I need to purchase. As a customer, when customer purchase from us as a businessman, customer has various options. So customers at last is a king. But when I consider as a purchaser from the supplier, I should also have an option. A more number of suppliers, less their power, because I have options. Less number of suppliers and their market is monopoly. If the supplier's monopoly is there, your power is very low against them. So these are different factors can work. So how much number of number of units, the quantity you are purchasing from suppliers. Another one is a supplier's rate of forward integration. What do you mean by that? Friends, you are a car manufacturer. You just assemble the car and sell it. You were purchasing batteries from, say for example, Amaron batteries were there, and suddenly what happens is Amaron, as a businessman, he has started assembling the cars. Now Amaron becomes your competitor. Until now it was just your supplier, now it becomes your competitor. In this case, friends, basically there is a threat of a new competition that can come. Be very clear. Another one, if we don't have any customer's preference, it is okay. But if my customer wants material of some specific supplier only, then I'm gone. I have to follow the customer's instruction. I have to go to that supplier to purchase that material, and I'm totally hanged into it. Because that supplier can demand a higher price, because I have need of that supplier doesn't need me. Okay, so these are the different concepts for the suppliers bargaining. The fifth factor on a competition, existing competitors. Friends, this is infinite problem. Having a foreseeable long future, infinite future, we can say. These factors, competition structures, how the cost is determined, laws, regulations, switch over cost. Friends, these things can affect whether the competition will be higher or lower. Let's assume that thing, how it can play. Friends, you can be demanded, you can ask, you can be encountered with the questions which relates to how these factors can increase or decrease competition. You need to just find whether increase and decrease. Competition structure, how the competition means. It is monopolistic market, it is oligopoly market, it's total monopoly, perfect competition, etc. Cost structure, friends. If the costs are very stringent, means the competition will also be very tough, because all the costs are not under the control of entity in total, because many times somewhat costs are out of control of any business. But when it comes to product service differentiation, your differentiation high, your competition is low, because you have a better competitive advantage. High differentiation, high competitive advantage. Switch over cost, high switch over cost, low competition. And high and the lower switch over cost is a high competition. Please be there. Substitutes are important examples for switch over cost. Then another one, we have diversities in competitive strategies. Friends, if your competitor is not able to copy your strategy because there are very unique strategies, high competitive advantage. But lot of strategies, high competition, means stiff profits, etc. Friends, you can look for the different 5 factors analysis, as we have gone through with friends. We have gone through with these 5 things, 5 factors of competitive analysis. Please consider that, friends. We are now, how these 5 factors are connected to my strategy planning, what I will suggest. Friends, they are connected in this way. Friends, these things can interact with your business strategies, can change your industry's demands, can change your industry supply, can change your industry methods of productions, etc. These things can be your strength, your opportunity, your threats or weakness, whatever it may be. It can decide whatever the profitability that the business can achieve. More of the strength, higher profitability, and vice versa is also possible. Focus. Another one, friends, as we have seen, we are into external environmental analysis, wherein technological changes are the another crucial reason which affect the business models, which affect the business strategies and decisions, etc. Let's consider this, friends. Industry always should be adaptable. These are important points. Technology, yes, friends. technology can result in creations, such as, for examples, alternatives. Friends, technology can give alternatives. For example, automatic gear car as compared to manual gear car, or somewhere we can say a renewable and non-renewable energy sources, electric vehicles as compared to the petrol diesel based vehicle. Technology can reduce the need of some large distribution network. Friends, here is the best example of Walmart, the big warehouse technology and etc. Delivery mechanisms, transportations can reduce your requirement of big inventory you need to keep. There is no need if you have a distribution channel is longer. Technology facilitating designs. Okay, friends, good designs can be innovated, and with that a differentiation can be achieved. Friends, even balance of the power. Friends, technology can make a king, and can you become, even technology can make you a king, or either can make you a poor person. Somewhere when it changes, you just need to be adaptable with that. Friends, characteristics, how we gonna deal with the technology? Okay, friends, what I understood, as a businessman, I should always be a tech savvy person. I should always be aware of whatever going on in the technological market, which affecting my products, my strategies, and somewhere this assessment will include how can I deal on a daily routine basis. I also have to take a look for how the strategy can affect business, this technology. Let's take better approach, identify strategy, analyze how it can affect my future, current position and future position. Means, for example, Nokia being a featured phones manufacturer later, earlier it was. As the smartphones had entered into market, then Nokia also have to be adaptable with the smartphone markets. They have to decide what to do right now to survive in the market. Big important objective of any business is survival as well. Competition technologies analyze its impact as well, how the competition will get affected by the new technology. Organization technical strength and weakness. Friends, technically how organization will be benefited or getting a demerit out of this. Technical means what? Means in that case smartphones and feature phones example that I have given you. There is a huge difference because of this big changes in a smartphone market. Establish the organization technology priorities. Friends, we should always think upon which technology can lead us to higher competitive advantage, which technology can lead us to higher level of business, and these things you can achieve by your balanced approach for these steps to deal with the technology. Friends, many times it's not the work of only management over here. The technology assessment should be done with some technology experts. They should also ensure that how the company can be more adaptable with the data analytics, big data, even artificial intelligence, cloud computing, blockchain technologies. All these things will be very, very useful to many organizations. So this is the way technology assessment is to be done. Please keep a look. Now friends, here we have depicted the different steps as we are considering. How to do these steps as well, that also have some look. Friends, take a look. So friends, as you can see over here, we have the steps which were there for the technological assessment, and in these steps, the technology I need to identify, not just my perspective, I need to also identify what my competitor is using as a strategy for process as well. Strategy maybe for financials, accounting, or even fintech technologies. We have the technology for productions, or whatsoever changes are there. We should look every aspect of the technological changes. Okay, then it goes for another one that we have potential changes can have in my current and future technology. A potential changes is somewhat not a work of some general manager. It's a work of somewhat experts you can take help from. These experts can guide you about how these technology evaluation you can consider. They can examine how possibility are there, it can change your business and whatsoever. Okay, so these are the steps going on. Then after, competitive impact of these technologies, friends. Here the important point is, friends, you are provided with this. So please see this one that I am talking about. These different technologies that can impact of base technology, okay, key technology and pacing technologies. Friends, base industry technology which are widely accepted, which are widely even impacting entire economy industry. The key technologies for some competitive advantages, it may be in terms of cost differentiations and all that, you can a differentiation because of some new technological changes in your product, something like that. And pacing technologies are also fast moving technologies. Okay, number 4, analyzing the technical strength and weakness. Okay, friends, if organization is highly adaptable with the technology and very fastly it is adapting, it's competitively very fine for you. Otherwise, it's a big weakness it can come with. So friends, in this tab, as you can see, I have kept a bold letters for some specific words that you need to identify. Technical strength analysis, evaluating and comparing the competitor strength weakness, also help to ensure the objective why these analysis is going on. Okay, so these things are part step 4. And technology priorities. Friends, technology assessment can give you to set up priorities for which you need to move further with in getting the benefit from business and etc. And it can have an integration or integration benefits and whatsoever. Let's see going further. So how it is useful with your strategy. Friends, these are the key points which are indicated. Please take a look into this, friends. Yes, please, we are talking about this only. Increasing the technology's role. Your technology can be compatible with your whatever strategies which are there. You can utilize your resource, your assets with the available technologies. It can improve efficiency, budgetings and etc. Friends, there are different characteristics for these things. Okay, so it's not a useful thing. Please take a look. Stakeholders. Friends, when I say stakeholder group, that social concern, how these people are having focus or concerns about our business. Stakeholders, friends, these stakeholders includes a lot of things. Friends, many of these are also covered up over here. You can see it is numbered over here. Just starting from your managers, your employees, and connecting directors with your industries, the customers, the government itself, trade unions are there, environmental agencies are there, even because of the company, the different animals and the entire ecosystem is also getting connected with that. If there is specifically food related companies there, educational institutions also can analyze and research your data for research purpose and all. So these things are totally where our business tends. It is always surrounded by these different stakeholders. And now we are focusing on different stakeholders. And friends, one of the important key objective, friends, just be very clear. The key objective of any business is to maximize the stakeholders' value, maximize shareholders' value. But the shareholders are part of equity shares and preference shares. It's not about somewhat strategic management subject. It's only about accounting. Friends, every company wants that they earn a good profit, the share market prices are flourishing, and the shareholders are getting benefit out of it and creating a good wealth out of it. So these things are also getting connected here. Friends, let's go further. Companies are facing various challenges for social responsibilities. Yes, obvious. There may be a challenge. There may be a support as well. There may be a strength as well. There may be a weakness as well. Friends, what I am saying that the strength, weakness, opportunity and threat, SWOT analysis. This SWOT is there in every factor, and external or internal. So just have a look at this, friends. These different say for example, challenges are like social violence is going on, and because of that there was a curfew in entire of the town or something like that. So your business got affected. There may not be a social acceptance of your business. For example, in the town of some full vegetarian people, the vegan people, we're talking about the vegan philosophy people. Friends, if I just go there and try to sell a meat to them, friends, it's not socially acceptable for them. So somewhere these caste and all beliefs and etc., they're also going to affect your business standards in one of the specific markets, etc. And here we have the diversities of our employees. Friend, employee diversity can have a big issue. It can have a great impact, favorable as well, or even a bad impact as well. But as a manager, you need to deal with all of them. Okay, many in global organizations, employees may come from entire globe, everywhere. Even corporate layouts are there. These antitrust actions, the pricing mechanism by competitions, age discrimination, gender discriminations, environmental issues. These are the things the business have to deal with and should take care that these are resolved or encountered on a timely basis. Otherwise, it can ruin entire business. Society, where the business flourish with the society, from the society, for the society. That a business should always keep in mind. Let's go further. Friends, always, if I say that stakeholders maximum value creation must be there, stakeholder support should be there, and to achieve this objective strategically what a business should do. Here it is, the stakeholder analysis. Friends, this analysis indicating that, please take a list, tabs, etc. Friends, what it indicates? First one, so we need to identify which stakeholders are connected to my business. First, if I identify this, I need to also see what they have as a expectation from my business. They are expecting something like that. I need to also create objectives, metrics or something, a list of metrics and objective for my different stakeholders. The priorities of my stakeholders. I should have some different objectives and different strategies for different stakeholders, like for employees, for governments, how to deal with them. I should depute the managers for different stakeholders. Public relationship officers are there in any company. Likewise, I'm talking about. With that, we should have effects of organization objective versus the stakeholders objective. Friends, many a times organization may have a crush for profitabilities and all, but same time the stakeholders needs is not a profitability. Their need is to serve the society type. So friends, in that case you need to change your objective, because society will not change. So in that case, many a times, say for example, Domino's is there in India. Many places Domino's was not acceptable because of vegan and vegetarian and all the hiccups were there. So at last Domino's also have to change. They started some new pizza flavors in a vegetarian mode. So these things are there. Same with the MACD as well. It was only somewhat non-veg things were there, but then they have to shift for the vegetarians and all. So these were the important needs, that stakeholders' needs are priority. Friends, accordingly we take a decisions as a businessman. Okay, take a look, friends. Organization have laws and benefits, responsibilities also. Organization's responsibilities are to increase the value of stakeholders, to increase the profit for the stakeholders. They can have a loss for them, higher cost, higher profit, but it depends. If are favorable to society, you will also be benefited. If it is adverse to society, you will be getting a loss. And penalties for not following the environmental laws, penalty for employee harassment, gender inequalities and all those things are very crucial penalties, friends. And it does not cost only in economic terms, but it does cost in your goodwill as well, your image. So friends, as you can see, these different stakeholders can have some benefits from me and I can have some benefits from them as well. If I consider for employees, what I lose for them is some layoff. If layout is there, there was an idle time, there was a machine breakout was there, people were just sitting over there, my employees were not working, and even if I have to give them a payment, so this will be a loss for me. More of the idle time and all, this is a loss. But their rights and responsibility, competitive position. Friends, if my employees are loyal, are very skilled, they are very efficient, etc., so that my work is very better, so in that case my company will have a higher competitive advantages. This is crucial requirement. Then we have, friends, another one, consumers. Friends, always there is a give and take relations with these different stakeholders as we are looking right now. So friends, in these diagrams we are considering that there are some types of givings and takings with them. So we are in a benefit, we are getting something, we are giving something, like that. So here with the consumers, what loss I can have? Friends, consumers can demand the low prices, consumer can demand less of the spoilage. Yes, obviously. This is a loss to me as well. Some of the spoilage by me will going to cost me because I am not able to sell that downgraded product to my consumers and all. And then we have, friends, rights, responsibilities, qualities. Consumers have responsibility, we have a quality concerns. We do have to focus about consumers' loyalty and all. So another one, friends, supplier. If I consider what I lose in the suppliers as my changing in the hardware. Friends, for example, I consider suppliers technology changes, so I need to purchase some new equipments. My supplier came to me giving me the new equipments, but in that case I have to lose that old hardware and all. Another one is whether my supplier is always able to meet my demand or not is a question, because it's a responsibility from supplier side that he should supporting me in need for every type of products and components I am purchasing. So that will be another case we need to look for, where for the government officials, powers and influence they have can make a loss for us. If they use their power and getting us into a loss or a demeritorious situation, then it will be a big difficulty for us. And same way, public protection, industry regulations are there. These things are the responsibilities by the government officials. Hope so you are understanding. So friends, these are some of the series of questions we should see when I consider a stakeholders analysis. I have to find who is a stakeholder. I have to find important value for the stakeholder. It may be a value for quality, value for societal needs, etc. Then I need to also check what is the duty of that stakeholder and what is the duty for my side. My rights and all, consumer rights, the supplier rights and all. Another one is principles which are applicable, the policies we can follow for them. At last, what I should do for the stakeholder. It's my decision towards how I'm gonna deal with the different stakeholders. And friends, in that we have stakeholder analysis is connected with the strategic planning. In this, we always see that how the stakeholders feel about my organization. How can I change my position to well equip the stakeholders and all? Improvement in the positions. These are crucial. Friends, we have to see whether we are right now meeting the stakeholders' needs or not. If I am not able to meet, I am below limit, then I should achieve that limit to meet the needs of every stakeholder. And that is how my strategy, either a competitive strategy or a corporate strategy, a functional strategy, is revolving around the stakeholders. So friends, until now we have understood very base for the strategy plannings. We understood that these different strategies, a corporate level, competitive level, a functional level strategies are there, and with that these strategies are taken care of with the needs of the factors, the framework or the entire structure in which my strategic planning is working is three factors, that is externals, internals, my vision, mission, etc., they are to be connected together. And that's the best strategy ever, which meet the stakeholders' needs. The important objectives of stakeholders' value creation that will make us to make such a strategy so that my stakeholders are at benefit. And in that case, these things are useful. I need to see that where I am up to for the stakeholders' needs and all. So friends, hope so you understood the things which are affecting the external environmental things which affect the business. And in that also, we do have the things called as globalization, the technological factors. We have gone through it. Now it will be a time to go for globalization as the external factor which affects the business. Friends, in a globalization factors, we do have factors like when we make an export sale, when we have subsidiaries, the branches in different countries. Friends, as we expand more into the global hub of the business, we have to deal with the different aspects. Business can be done in a different countries in a joint venture, subsidiaries, branches, global organizations, alliances, and etc. Different ways are there. In that we have, friends, here are the examples for this. Subsidiaries are there, export of the product services, we are making just an export. We don't have any physical establishment over there. If we have a physical establishment like a subsidiary, I purchased some another company like Tata. The Tata Consultancy Service of India had purchased Tata Motors, had purchased Jaguar Limited, and that was another example. Multinational organizations, the multinational organization is having a different various locations in entire of the globe. These organizations have countries, have operations all over the world. Yes friends, that goes on. Friends, when MNCs are there, the MNC have to make their strategy for every country differently, for every market differently. Friends, goes for global organizations. These are the features of this. Friends, I technically say that there is a very legal difference, a bit difference between these two, multinationals and globals. Friends, global strategy plannings are there. There are a lot of marketings of the different global products. There are different strategies for all over the globe. They share the common resources. They share the common ideology all over the globe. These types of organizations, their employees are transported. Employee mobility is there very high. One employee can work in another, another different countries as their another manpower, material resources, and etc. The centralized decision may be or may not be there. These are the things, friends. There are really minute changes. Alliances and partnership. Friends, for example, two of the companies are combining together, making a joint venture for a third country they are entering into. And for example, a company for subcontracting of bricks and the sand, they combine together making a joint venture for construction company in Colombia, or say for example in Trinidad or somewhere Uganda or something like that. So they went to South Africa and making these constructions and all. So these are crucial examples for these things. Alliances, the partnerships and all are there. Hope so you are understanding, friends. Okay. Globalization is affected to strategic planning in a way that globalization will have impact on every pricing aspect of different country, because it will be different pricing mechanism for the different strategies for the different markets and countries. An organization have to focus for different country market as well. They have to deal differently for these markets. These are examples for this. Tax implications are there. Diversity of the employees is key aspect. Okay friends, hope so you understood.
If you like this video, share it with your friends. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more such videos and learn from our expert faculty members. Press the bell icon to get regular notifications whenever we upload a new video. Download NDI mobile app to get complete CA course online. We value your support. Thank you for watching.